Now, let's take a look at him. Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Resident Evil Village is the 8th entry in the series. Set 3 years after the tragic events of Resident Evil 7, you once again play as Ethan Winters. Ethan has started over with his wife Mia, finally living in peace with their daughter Rose. That's until Chris shows up and ruins the show by killing Mia, kidnapping Rose, and taking you as a prisoner. Ethan awakens in an overturned convoy with the guards dead and Rose nowhere to be seen. Then things go sideways when you make your way to the village where you meet the local residents. Though it doesn't break ground compared to other horror FPSs like Outlast and Alien Isolation, it still has its special place. This game is also gorgeous to look at. The RE engine does a wonderful job with lighting and textures to make the world highly realistic. Resident Evil also takes advantage of 3D audio, and let me tell you, if you want the best experience, this is what you want. The sound of twigs snapping and water dripping and hearing monsters right in the next room was terrifying. Also, the score for this game is great as well, especially when the scary parts kick in. Also, if you're playing on PlayStation 5, you can use the DualSense adaptive triggers so you can feel the tension using different weapons. It's a nice feature, but with a whole pack of enemies swarming at you, I'd rather be ready to draw my weapon than fight with the tension of the controller. First off, I'm one of the few people who doesn't want a Resident Evil 4 remake, since it's been on almost every platform. But from the moment I set foot in the village, I was getting mad deja vu. This game is pretty darn close to a Resident Evil 4 remake. Not only the setting is similar to Resident Evil 4, but the first attack with the Lycans, enemies, boss fights, and characters like the Duke bring back old Resident Evil 4 vibes. Speaking of the Duke, he's just like the merchant from Resident Evil 4. He can offer you supplies, attachments, and upgrades to your weapons. You can also get Duke meat from the animals you hunted to turn into perks, like increased health, speed, and damage taken from enemies. The Duke character is shrouded in mystery, but I didn't mind his presence, especially if I was in a bind for ammo or health.
Starting to go a little stale.
There's nothing still after you beat the main story. Village brings back the Resident Evil classic Mercenaries mode. Mercenaries is pretty much a time score attack mode. You rack up points killing enemies, getting combos while going through the areas of the game. You have 4 levels to play through, each are areas from the main campaign, so don't expect anything different here. What's different this time around is you can get buffs that can increase shotgun damage, mobility, and so on and so on. Depending how well you do, you'll get graded and earn more rewards. You also have challenges, which when completed gives you points. Those points can be used to buy new weapons, infinite ammo, character renders, and concept art. There's also a photo mode, so you can fancy over Lady D and her daughters.
Way ugly! I want to see! He's away!
One of the main issues I have with Village is how dark the game is when it comes to lighting. It brings the tension the Resident Evil games are known for, but when I crank the settings all the way to max brightness and it's still dark, I know it was intended. In showing off Village, we got to see a lot of Lady Dimitrescu, or Lady Dimitris, whatever you want to call her, but she doesn't have a lot of screen time. She stalks you like Mr. X or Nemesis does, but not as good. Even when she was chasing me down, I was able to outmaneuver her since she doesn't run.
Wow, that's a pretty big butt.
Oh, look at me! I'm gonna go touch the butt!
However, the moments when she appears won't be forgettable.
Like I'd let you get away. You'll be sliced to ribbons.
One thing the older Resident Evil games had that made you think about is how you should use your healing items. Do I just use a green herb or a mixed herb in this situation? Well, in Village, you can just wait till you're on danger, take a chem fluid, and be back to fine status. I didn't run into a single enemy that could kill me in one hit. Therefore, I didn't need to worry about healing on caution. So if you're on danger, you can get another hit and still be fine. Once again, Capcom has put a nice little twist on the Resident Evil franchise. The game is a pretty good horror first-person shooter, though it's a little more focused on action near its conclusion. I really enjoy the cast of villain characters, even though some get more screen time than others. As a fan of the franchise, I was looking forward to the story to see how it connects to the other games. With the exception of Chris Redfield, there's not much here. There are documents that tie into the Resident Evil lore, but at this point, it made me think this game didn't need the Resident Evil title attached to it. Overall, the experience was enjoyable, and I put in about 8 hours on my first playthrough. I can't wait to see what Capcom has up their sleeve for the next installment. Until then, I give Resident Evil Village a 9 out of 10.